What's up guys, Andre here with a quick news update for you about Nintendo and Universal Studios because it was recently discovered that Universal has filed for 5 patents that seem as if they may hint at upcoming attractions. Now a couple of them seem to apply to their new water park Volcano Bay since they're, water park themed patents, and then there's another one for what appears to be an Iron Man-like attraction, which makes sense seeing as how Universal Studios Orlando has the rights to Marvel properties, despite Disney owning the rights to Marvel overall. It's complicated, we're not even gonna go into it. Anyways, what's more interesting, and the reason I'm making this video, is because there are 2 patents in there that seem as if they may be based on Nintendo attractions. And by maybe, I mean almost definitely, because these look like dead ringers for the attractions that have actually been rumored coming to the land. And those are Mario Kart and Donkey Kong. So let's start off with what appears to be the Mario Kart one first, which in the patent is referred to as Drift Racers. And in the picture, or in the diagram, we can see 2 people sitting in what's very clearly a go-kart, and the pattern refers to the driver, who would have a steering wheel as well as gas and brake pedals to control the turning and drifting of the cart. And you can even see in the patent how the tail end of the vehicle is apparently able to swing out as if you were drifting, and that looks really freaking cool. And similarly, the patent says a person in the back would have control of the vehicle with buttons that could affect the performance of the vehicle in general, or another one on the track, which sounds to me like it might be hinting at item usage. So obviously looking at this, not only is it reminding me of Mario Kart, it's reminding me specifically of Mario Kart Double Dash, which would be amazing. Okay, let me just soak that in for a second. A Mario Kart Double Dash themed attraction potentially, which makes so much sense for a theme park, where you'd want to have at least 2 people per vehicle, just for capacity reasons. And speaking of which, I would actually be very surprised if it really is just 2 people per vehicle. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more passenger seats, perhaps, gunner seats even, with maybe 3 people gunning and 1 person driving. I don't know exactly how they'll do it. Again, the patent isn't a full representation of how it'll end up, if it even ends up happening. Let me be clear, this patent may not happen. But again, Mario Kart was rumored, and I'd be surprised if this isn't what ends up happening, or something along these lines. Now, going by the patent, I don't think this is going to be like a track-based attraction. I have a feeling it's going to be a simulator where you're looking at a giant screen where you're then racing against, other people who are also on their own screens. So kind of like a very elaborate arcade game, which I think could be incredibly well done if pulled off right. Just the fact that your vehicle can seemingly swing around like this in order to replicate the feeling of power sliding in Mario Kart. On top of it, sounded like it'll have even more movement as well, a little bit like Indiana Jones at Disneyland, where your vehicle can like bounce around. This could be incredible, and I am so excited to play it. And if they go the simulator route, which again I'm sure I'd be very surprised if they aren't, that's something they could update perpetually. They could add new tracks. If there's a new Mario Kart game, they could literally add tracks from that, maybe upgrade it a little bit to, for the Universal version. But there is so much potential here. They could keep adding to it forever. They could add new items. Oh, this is amazing, and that's why I'm pretty sure that they're going to go the simulator route with Mario Kart. Okay, that's enough about me fanboying over a Mario Kart attraction, so let's move on to the other patent called Boom Coaster. And if you look at it, you can tell that's pretty clearly a minecart, which of course ties into the Donkey Kong rumors we've heard. Now, I want to say, again, like Mario Kart, what they're doing here is freaking brilliant from the looks of it. Because one of the big things in Donkey Kong is the fact that you can jump your minecart, or that, there's gaps in the track and you have to cross you have to go over the gap to another part of the track. How can you do that on a roller coaster where you're actually part of the track? Well, here's how. There's 2 tracks. The one that you're actually on, the one that appears you're on, isn't actually a real track. The magic is in the fact that you're actually attached to a second coaster underneath on the real track. So you can see here how a perceived gap in the track, you would actually go right over it thanks to the track below that you're actually attached to via the arm that connects into your passenger car to the actual roller coaster below. This is freaking brilliant. This, I didn't even think about this. Like, having a Donkey Kong themed roller coaster or minecart attraction is something I've actually thought about for a while. But trying to replicate this is something that hadn't even occurred to me. And this is freaking genius. The fact that too, like, you can tell based on how this diagram is, like, the arm is going to be hidden from view. So if they pull this off right, this could be incredibly convincing and one of the coolest things we've seen in a roller coaster maybe ever. The only thing I can think of that is anywhere close to this, and even this is even a stretch, is Expedition Everest at Disney World has this pretty cool part of the ride where you reach the top of the mountain and the track in front of you is like completely broken. And at that point you come to a stop and you actually end up going backwards. It's cool, it's very well done, but this is some next level stuff going on where there's literal gaps in the track that you're crossing. Oh man, this could truly be magical. So I am more excited than ever based on these patents. Now, just to reiterate, the final attractions, if they even come to be, may not look anything like this. So I don't want to look, so don't take this as being a sure thing quite yet. But this is very promising at the very least. It shows that Universal's thinking outside the box to offer new experiences. And that's what really excites me. One of my concerns going in was that, because one of the complaints about Universal from some fans is that they are very simulator heavy. So I'm happy to see that at least one of the attractions looks like it's going to be a fully immersive, physical attraction where you're actually in a minecart racing through a mine. Whereas Mario Kart does appear to be a simulator, but I think, again, it makes a ton of sense in that case. So far it seems to be a good mix, being half and half. Of course, I'm not quite sure what the future holds for the other attractions, but based on what I'm seeing here, I love it. I love what I'm seeing here. I really can't wait to see what else they can do here. And you know what, just to elaborate a little bit more, I'm getting the feeling that the Donkey Kong ride would be a fully immersive dark ride, both literally and figuratively. I mean, it takes place inside a mine, so of course it's going to be dark, but dark ride is also a term used for rides that take place indoors where every scene is individually lit, which again, just meshes perfectly with a ride, based on a mine. So I wouldn't be surprised if Donkey Kong Diddy, of course, show up, maybe the Kremlings or some other enemy from Tropical Freeze or Donkey Kong Country Returns. Maybe they'll flip, track switches at points, they'll throw you off the track. Who knows, there's so much they can do with the pattern we're seeing here and the Donkey Kong theme. It really has me super excited, and I'm just, in love with the early hints of what these rides could be. And I can't wait for them to open now. Oh man, so far away. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Of course, stay tuned to Game Explain for more on Nintendo and Universal Studios working together and other things gaming as well. Catch you later. Bye.